What's up, Ray? It's your boy Andrew. Here to do a sleepy time stream because I am tired and it's 8:40 just about, and it's my bedtime. Except it's Friday, so I should be able to stay up later. But I cannot do that. I may fall asleep during the stream. Is what I'm getting at here. Okay, so we are not gonna be streaming 10 Dead Devs right now. I will get back to that shortly. But today we are going to be playing by we, I mean I, of course, going to be playing a game that is very cool, and I hope I am operating OBS correctly here. It's hard to tell if this is going to work like I want it to, so I'm just vamping. Okay, that looks good. Alright, we are going to be playing Blueprints, which is a fucking awesome game that came out on Thursday of this week, and it's like a weird kind of mystery game mixed with a like house designing game mixed with a like kind of a roguelite sort of uh, card game. Not I say card game because that's kind of like the standard for roguelites these days is to have everything be a card. It's kind of like that, but the premise of the game I will explain as we get into it. Hopefully this is not going to be too similar to me trying to explain a board game. I'm worried that it might be, but we'll see. Anyway, here's the intro.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in, and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Okay, so here we go. So I'm starting from scratch here. even though I've put several hours into this already, because I think it is going to be more interesting to show it from the scratch, and then depending on how long this takes, I might show you where I'm at in my game here. But yeah, we are the aforementioned grandnephew, and we are trying to find the 46th room in his house. Let's take a look at this letter here. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off of the estate, may not stay overnight. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. One final word of advice. Do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead. With all my love and wishes, best of luck. Is Sinclair. So, that's kind of laying out the rules of the game, the really basic rules of the game, in a letter form. What we are going to be doing is we are looking at this blueprint of the house. So this is where we are right now in the entrance hall. These are the 45 rooms that we will be making our way through theoretically to try to get to the antechamber up here. And then beyond the antechamber is the 46th room. I'm hoping, I have not gotten close to that yet so far, but so I talked about it being a roguelite. What that means is that, like the letter says, nothing carries over from day to day. And each day is kind of set by the number of rooms that you can enter or the number of distance you can walk. And that's what this meter up here means, the footsteps. I have 50 steps that I can do in a day. And when I walk into one of these rooms, once I've built them, when I walk into a new room, or any room actually, that's going to decrease this by 1 or potentially more depending on what kind of a room it is. But basically, once I run out of steps, then the day is over. Everything gets reset, including the layout of the mansion and anything that I've had. With a few exceptions, you can unlock like permanent upgrades once you get into the game a little further. But for the most part, everything that you picked up over the course of that day is going to be gone when you start the next day. And like they said, that includes the placement of the rooms. So let me show you how doing a room works. So basically, just go up to any door and click on to open, and you'll get a choice of 3 rooms that you can place on the board. So let's take a look at the blueprint map. This is going to be going, whatever room you place is going to be going into this square right here. And so what we want to do, it's a 5x9 grid, and we want to make sure that when we're placing a room, you have ways to get into the adjacent empty spots. So like, if I put the bedroom there, I could go north, but I wouldn't be able to go any further west. And then if I put the hallway here, I'd be able to go both north and west to create rooms on either side of those openings. If I do the closet, it's just going to be that room, and then I can't go any further unless I kind of build up around it. And because we want to kind of expand out as much as we can, I am going to go with the hallway here to give us more options for further room placements. And so the thing about this game is that there is a bunch of weird, cryptic shit in it that it is your job to understand and solve when it's applicable to puzzles. There's a lot of puzzles in this game, and there's going to be notes like this around here. So like doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked, which means that I would need a key to open one. So we've got the map here. I think we will continue to go further west, and that way we can build kind of the west wing, so to speak, of the mansion. Start to build it, at least. So we've got a pantry, we've got a storeroom, and we've got a lavatory. The red rooms, the rooms are all kind of color-coded. Blue rooms are kind of normal rooms where there's nothing too weird about them. Red rooms are usually going to give you a penalty of some kind. I'm not really sure. The lavatory, I have not seen what the penalty is there. Could just be that it's just like a dead end, basically, since there's no exit, just the entrance, and it doesn't give you anything. The storeroom also doesn't have any exits. It's just the entrance, but you get a key, a gem, and a coin, and those are all things that you need to buy items and unlock doors and be able to place special rooms when they come up. So the best thing to do here would be to pick the pantry because that's going to let me go north. I'm not able to go any further west since the since the building is, or the mansion is 5 squares across. It's the entrance hall and then 2 squares on the right and 2 squares on the left and then up and down. So we'll go with the pantry to fill out the west side of this first row. And okay, so we got some coins here. Pick those up. Got a letter. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we've just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Okay. So, I'm gonna find a bunch of different items in the game. One of them is an apple, and when you eat an apple, you get a couple more steps added onto your total. So it's kind of one of the ways you can keep going past your initial allotment of 50 steps is to find food and eat it. So that's pretty much all we can do here. We'll go to the next room. Alright, so we got a guest bedroom, which if I choose that, it is again like a kind of a dead end since there's no exits, but it does give me 10 steps, which is not bad, especially this early on in the game. We've got the west wing, which just kind of lets me branch out further in both directions. Then I've got a nook, which is a corner piece, but it does give me a key. I think we still want to go with the hallway, so let's grab that. All of these rooms can only be placed once, so once you place the west wing hall, you're not going to see that come up again in the rotations, so you kind of have to strategize, like, do I want to place this room right here, or do I want to save it for further on in the mansion where if there's a benefit to the room, as some rooms have, the benefit might be more advantageous to have deeper into the mansion. Let's see what this is. Staff notice. June 15th, 1983. Out of respect for the late Lady Clara Epson, the West Wing will be closed until further notice. While the floor plans associated with this wing have not been removed from the pool, we ask that staff members refrain from drafting them during this period of mourning. So the thing that's interesting, one of the many things that's interesting about this game is that like the goofy rules regarding the nature of this mansion, like it's not just for our purposes in the game, like everybody in the game knows, hey, like this mansion is fucking weird. Like there's gems laying all over the place, rooms are shuffling around from location to location. So it's just kind of an interesting take that it's not just some thing that exists only for us. Like everybody kind of knows, like, oh yeah, the magical mansion with all sorts of crazy shit in it. Okay. So I got a bedroom again. If we place that, we'll get 2 extra steps anytime we go into the room. Not bad. We've got the nook again, which we saw last time. And then we've got the den, which gives us 2 exits, and then also gives us a gem. And so that is what I'm going to go with. So we don't have any gems yet, and gems are necessary for a bunch of different things here. So we'll just kind of take a look around here a little bit. And so I've seen, I think on day 12 or 13 in my game that I'm playing. And what I'm beginning to see and what I've heard other people that have played it say is that this is really just kind of like the surface level of what's going on in the game. There's a bunch of stuff that is like just much deeper, like all of this stuff, all these pictures on the wall, this giant clock, any of this could tie into any of the many mysteries that we're gonna encounter. So it's pretty interesting to see and not know like what is actually gonna be important and what's not. Alright, so the corridor is just straight in and out, but the door at the end is always unlocked, which is good, especially the further you get into the mansion. The further you go in, the more likely the doors are to be locked. Guest bedroom, we saw that before. Storeroom, we saw that before too. Let's keep going with this corridor and just see how far we can get. It's a cool hat. Alright. Okay, so got a couple of new things here. So the bedroom goes in 2 steps if you go into it. Chapel, a red room. So like I was saying, the red rooms have penalties. This one, if we go into a chapel and we have coins, we'll lose one each time we enter it. But it does have the full set of exits that we would need, so it's kind of not a bad choice here, especially for being 4 rooms deep into the mansion. Parlor, also pretty good because it's a puzzle room, as indicated by this puzzle piece here. And let's do the chapel, actually. It's pretty cool looking. Alright, lost a coin, that's fine. But got all these stained glass windows. Got an altar. So like I found books that talk about, it's this character, this saint, I think is what they refer to her as. So yeah, there's definitely mythology like behind pretty much everything in here to some extent. Let's see what we got here. Okay. The nook, got the drawing room. So both of these rooms would cause me to spend a gem. That's what it means by a gem requirement. Drawing room is cool because it will let you re-roll your room options when you choose one of the exits, so that's pretty handy. In case you get a bunch of rooms that are not great, you can roll the dice, so to speak. So that's good. Secret passage, also pretty good because it lets you choose the color of room that you go to leading out of here. It doesn't show the exit, but there is an exit heading north out of the secret passage. Let's do the secret passage. So we've got 5 books here. The Halls of Holly, which means that if we choose this, the next room is going to be an orange hallway room. And a green thumb, which means that the next room is going to be kind of like a garden if we pick that. Key to the bedroom, so the next room would be bedroom, rooms, red rover, would be a red room, gold sink, be a... I haven't seen much of the gold rooms, so let's pick this and see what this looks like. Locked. Okay. Alright, so we need a key. That's fine. Lost a coin. Not great, but fine. Let's actually just go back to the entrance. We're going to lose some steps, but I want to kind of branch out a bit from the other entrance doors, so just have to deal with it. So just take a look here. Some of these paintings. Drawing of somebody holding a crowbar. Not sure what that is about. Grandfather clock. closet gives us 2 items. Not great because it's the first room off of the main entrance. I don't necessarily want to pick a dead end right out of the gate, which excludes the lavatory as well. Observatory costs a gem, so we don't get to pick that because we don't have any gems, which sucks. It's a good room. So let's go for the closet. Because we will pick up an electronic keycard, which opens electronically powered security doors. Pretty good. Not great. It's not one of the better items, but it's decent. We've got a gem. And so that's all we can do for that room. Let's see what we get here. So we get the nursery, get the guest bedroom, and then we get the regular bedroom. Nursery needs a gem, but it's only gonna give us the benefit of giving us 5 extra steps if we pick a bedroom going forward. And it's a dead end. So don't want that. Don't really want that either. Gotta go with this bedroom so we can get a couple of extra steps in and have a way to build out the mansion a little more. So we got a nook, parlor, courtyard. Courtyard's pretty good. I don't know if I want to spend a gem on it. Parlor is also pretty good. It's got the puzzles. Let's do that. So we're gonna have to kind of hopefully be able to get a room that goes north when we place this one. Hopefully, ideally, we get one that goes both north and south so we can fill this block in. Let's see here. Ooh, coin purse. Found a small coin purse. Each time you collect 3 coins, you earn an additional coin in interest. Very nice. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the Oldhams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I've included with this letter all the details you'll need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, Mr. Lowry. M. Lowry, rather. Alright, so here's the rules. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements. Only one box has a prize within. The other 2 are always empty. So, grab this. That's what we'll use to open up the box that we choose. A rather curious wind-up key, component of the parlor game. And here are the boxes. Okay. So, there's always going to be one that lies, there's always going to be one that tells the truth, and then the third box could be either. Something that I didn't really parse until I'd been playing for a couple of hours is that the box that is telling the truth is not necessarily always going to be the one that has the gems in it. That's what the prize is. If we pick the correct box, it's a couple of gems. So the box that's lying could actually be the right one to pick. Okay, so blue box says this statement appears on another box. White box says that the blue box is empty. Black box says that this statement appears on another box. So both the black box and the blue box are telling the truth, which means that the white box has to be lying. It's lying about the blue box being empty, which means that we want to open the blue box because there better be fucking gems in here. There are. Thank you. It's been a couple of times where I've tried to do one of these puzzles and it's been like, oh, I misunderstood something about these clues. All right, moving on. These are not great choices. Let's go for the kitchen, which is a gold room. The gold rooms are, that's right, I'm remembering now. Gold rooms are the rooms that are basically like stores. You can purchase things. So in the kitchen, I can purchase some food. I can get a banana for a few coins, club sandwich for 8 coins, chef salad for 5 coins, which gives me benefits for any green rooms that I've placed. And then the special is the lemon glazed salmon, charboned Cajun spiced salmon, lemon butter sauce, served over spinach leaf. Gives me 20 steps, which is huge, plus an additional 10 steps if I have an aquarium in my house. With that, you can't buy, you have to place the dining room before you can get the main course. And you don't get the main course until you've gotten like super far into the mansion. You have to be at a certain rank. So let me explain the ranks real quick. Basically, each row is a rank. So everything in this first row is rank 1, rank 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So 5, 6, 7, 8 is the last rank. The dining room doesn't give you that meal until you've made it this far into the mansion to this row. So good, but we gotta do some work to get there. Got 35 steps, so we don't really need to spend our money just yet on a banana. Still doing pretty good there. Now, this is going north, so the courtyard's pretty good. I think we're probably getting an item if we pick that. Dining room is good, but like I was just saying, we only really get the full benefit once we get really far into the mansion, so we probably want to hold off on picking this until we get a little further in, just so we don't have to like backtrack all the way to get the meal. Guest bedroom, fine, but we don't want to pick that because it's gonna stop the movement there. So let's go for the courtyard. Yeah, so we've got an item here. We got the shovel. An old weathered shovel. Looks like it could be useful for digging. Which is fortuitous because we've got a lot of dirt here that we can dig. To get a turnip. An oversized turnip should prove to be a nutritious snack. And we get 6 steps. Pretty good. Sometimes there's more than one spot to dig up here, but it looks like it's just that one. Let's actually go west here. Okay. God, we keep picking up the lavatory. That's usually not that common. Okay, so storeroom, lavatory, seen those before, that's fine. Security room is pretty interesting, so let's grab that. Got a cutscene. Yeah, I forgot to. So this normally would be an exit, but because the parlor doesn't have an exit door that lines up with it, we just end up with a brick wall, so we can't go out that way. And that's too bad. But we got here. Blue memos equal true. Red memos equal lies. So, if you remember, we found a note back in a previous room that was on a red piece of paper that said that rooms in the West Wing were more likely to be locked. Apparently, that's a lie. Now, when I'm talking about like things that they hide in the game, this right here is exactly what I'm talking about. There's a little line of tiny text there that you can kind of see on your own, but you probably won't notice unless you have like a magnifying glass, which is an item you can find. What that says is red memos are lies unless written by hand. So they're just kind of constantly fucking with you like that in this game, which is kind of fun. Real machines, microwave, coffee. Staff notice. Effective the first week of December, payroll for all live-out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically, as your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call. It is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Ms. Babbage. Terminal password S something. Again, if I had the magnifying glass, I might be able to make that out. But alas. Got a red note. We know this is a lie, thanks to the note in the other part of the room. Until further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked, quote unquote. Access levers are no longer required to grant entry. Sure. Blue note, so we know this is true. So far, we know it's true, unless they show up with something later in the game that's like, oh, by the way, the blue notes also are lies. But for now, we have to assume that this is true. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. Likewise, as a redundant security measure, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. So we can't go out that way. This is the only way we can go, but it is a keycard door. Luckily, we do have the keycard, so we can open that up. And so this is... Actually, I haven't used the keycard very much. It's kind of interesting here. These, I think, indicate the room rarity, so that's why we've been seeing the nook in the guest bedroom a lot when we've been drafting rooms before. The locksmith is new to us, and it's got 3 marks, which means that it's pretty rare. We could pick it, but we don't have any money to buy keys with. We don't have the gem anyways, so we can't pick it. So we should go with the nook. We need a key anyways. Got a key. Got a coupon book. Nice. A discount coupon book. Save 1 coin on each purchase you make in the estates. Pretty good. The journey noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you. It's weird that that's kind of italicized. Beside you on your journey. So yeah, I do have a physical journal that I've been making a bunch of notes in. It's kind of fun to keep track of stuff that way. I also have a folder on my desktop full of screenshots of things that seem like they might be important, so I can kind of refer back to them. So it's kind of fun. Okay, storeroom. Don't want that. Don't like the utility closet is pretty important, but it's not a good placement for it right there. Let's go back to the spare room. This room's pretty boring. Let's just see. Lavatory, got the nursery. Those are dead ends. So probably not gonna pick. Can't pick that since we don't have the gem. I don't want to pick a lavatory, so let's go for the boudoir. Well. Got a safe. Not sure what the code is for that currently. What else do we got here? A photograph. Should I have only got the safe as a present at Christmas? It's nice, but nothing really seen there. Now, sometimes there's usually an item in here, but I guess not this time. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just do that. Okay, so we need the key to unlock that. Okay, so the dining room is going to line up pretty nicely with the chapel. Let's go ahead and just place that there. It helps to have like as much stuff connected as you can. That way you don't have to take a really circuitous route and lose a bunch of steps if you need to backtrack and get back to a earlier room. So, it's the chapel again. It's the meal that we can't eat yet. It's not been served. Not a whole lot else to do here at the moment. Okay, so lavatory, utility closet. I think I want to save that for one of these rooms, both of these if I can. Swing it, actually, just to get them kind of out of the way. So we might go back down towards the entrance to do that here in a minute, but for now, let's do the billiard room, which is another puzzly room. Billiards table, got a coin. Some chalk. And we got our puzzle. Okay, so this, as you might gather from that, is a math puzzle. And math puzzles. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be just solving a bunch of basic math equations. So just pick 3 there since that's the one that's highlighted. What I have gradually come to figure out through messing around with this a bunch is that the green highlighted ones means that you need to add their numbers together and then pick the corresponding number. So we'll pick 9, gets us the next number in the sequence, next place in the sequence. So here we got 19. These yellow colors mean that we need to subtract that number from the green number. So we'll pick 6. Again, we got a subtraction, so 10 minus 8 is 2. And the pink ones are multipliers. So we got a 10, we got a 2, 20. it's getting tricky. There's Division in there too, obviously, and then there's other weird shit that I have seen pop up just a little bit ago in my own game that I'm like, I don't know what they mean by this. I don't get it. Okay, so 17, it's 15, it's 2, so that'd be 4. And we got a couple of keys for our troubles, so not bad. Let's go check out the secret passage since we're so close to it. Okay, so ooh, laundry room. I haven't seen that before. Launder currency. Shit. Okay, we can't pick either of these. Well, pick the locksmith. So, alright, locksmith. So if we had more money, we could buy more keys or a special key, which lets you generate a special room if you use that on a locked door, and a lockpick kit, which I have not purchased yet because it's fucking expensive. So let's go back towards. God, I'm losing money left and right here. Let's go back towards the group of rooms that we kind of left unfilled here. Well, these are not great options for what I was hoping to do. Let's just... Okay, we'll go with the lavatory. Let's get this out of the way. Yep. It's a toilet. So, I'm sure there's going to be something that we do in this room at some point, but I don't know what it could be yet, so we'll just have to move on. Well, couldn't afford this, can't afford this. Gotta go with the bunk room, which is fine because it's a dead end anyways, so we'll... a couple more keys. Today's a good day because Simon is at camp and he is not as much fun as my friends. I will not have to share my toys, and I will not have to share my room, and I will not have to share my snacks. Having a younger brother is not as much fun as they told me it would be, but today will be a good day because he is at camp. Whoa. Ruby is mean and really stupid, and today's a good day because I threw away his airplane. I also had more fun at camp than he has had in his entire life. Damn. Today's a good day because I got my brother in trouble for reading my private journal without my permission and writing mean things in it too. He also threw my model airplane in the bushes outside, but I got it back, and if he does it again, he will not get to go to the park on Friday, and I will make sure he gets no presents for his birthday. I don't need any presents because I have my brother's book because he won't stop writing about me, and today is a good day because I know he cries when he can't find his book even though he is older. He is a crybaby. Damn. A lot of drama with these kids. Today's a good day because today my brother returns from college and I finally returned to him the book I took from him a long, long time ago. Hopefully you find it as hilarious as I do. I honestly have no idea how we survived sharing a room. All things being said, I wouldn't have it any other way. I would still I would still would rather have a sister. Have had a sister. Congratulations on the diploma and welcome home, Simon. Well, good for them, I guess. This dude. Hey, buddy. Gonna get some water? Wait, come say hi. No? Yeah. Cute. Back at it. Nose to the grindstone. Okay. So this room's gonna have to be left unfilled. We're not gonna get to fill in this spot either, which is unfortunate. And can't really do much. All right. OBS keeps like losing the connection to my headset. Just all of a sudden, it's really weird and annoying. Let's just make sure everything looks okay. Can be heard now. Okay. Yeah, it did that with the last stream too. Like about an hour and a half into the previous 10 Dead Doves stream, it just stopped working altogether, and I don't know why. Friggin' pain. Anyway, so we're gonna go back and try to branch out from here, just because we're gonna have a little bit of an easier go with picking rooms and things if we're not as far up into the mansion, I think. So, all right, I think we're about to. We're not totally doomed, but we're pretty close to it. Okay, can't pick that. I guess we are gonna have to go to the storeroom. So that gives us coin, gives us another key, and gem. So we're running low on steps, and we are running low on places to branch out. So this is probably going to be the end of the day pretty quick. That's how it goes. Just you have to deal with it. Okay, so go to the billiard. Maid's chamber. Huh. Let's go ahead and do that. It's a red room, but I haven't actually seen this room yet, so just out of curiosity, what do we got here? Okay. Mila, okay. Staff notice, the day we all dreaded has finally arrived. It is with unprecedented sadness that we inform you of the death of our benefactor, employer, and master, Baron of Mount Holly, H.S. Sinclair. Any staff who have an interest in attending services may contact Miss Babbage for details. And following the instructions left by the Baron himself, effective immediately, all work at Mount Holly is suspended. All live-in staff will have 1 month paid leave and must vacate the premises by Friday, November 6th. Okay. So I can't conference room. It's also a new one for me. Spreading items. Some special rooms allow you to spread items throughout your house. When items are spread, they are immediately placed in several of the rooms currently on your estate. However, if you have a conference room, spread items are gathered in that room instead. Okay. Probably not gonna see what that looks like with the time we have left in this day. Safe code 9083, but it's on a red note. So it's probably not it, right? Can we get back to the boudoir in time to try it? 6 steps. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Let's just unlock or see what this room would be, and then we'll check out the boudoir. That's pretty good. It'll be really funny if I make it to the antechamber, like right here. So, dark room. As soon as we go into it, true to its name, goes dark, which means that we cannot see what any of these are, because it's so dark in here. There is a way to turn the lights on, but we did not place that room when he had the chance, so we're just kind of stuck picking one of these at random. Just gotta spin this gem anyways, so let's. I don't have to, but. Oh, I don't think I can get back to the boudoir now. No, I definitely cannot. Got too caught up in what I was doing. Alright, well. So, just some items here. Salt shaker, sledgehammer, metal detector. Can't afford any of those. Stuff notice effective the first week of December. Payroll for all live out. Oh, okay, we saw this already. Because that was in the security room. What the hell? Rowboats without bats. Rowboat? Row. Huh. I only just now realized that these were that kind of thing. Okay. That kind of thing. I sound like a Tim Robinson character. That's just what that is. That thing. Yeah, so rowboat, subtract bat from rowboat. You have ROWO. I have no fucking clue what that could mean. Commissary will be closed from day 12 to day 16. Sorry for any inconvenience. Alright. Dang it. Okay, yeah. Into the road. So we do get more steps, so we can go and try that code on the safe in the boudoir at least. So yeah, here's the guest bedroom. Gave us 10 steps, which is good. Sinclair, just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose peculiar personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've seen the billiard room in your house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoyed your mathematical puzzles, and I appreciated that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. Hoping your health improves shortly. So, alright. So, yeah, we basically have no other places to put So pretty much done here. Let me just take another look at this code. 9083. It's not going to be right, but let's see what happens anyways. Nothing. As expected. Okay. Kind of makes sense that they wouldn't just have the code to the safe laying on a table in the conference room, I guess. In retrospect, makes perfect sense. So we're just gonna use up our last few steps here. Oh, I'm dying. No, wait, no. I'm just calling it a day. You've also used all your steps, and now you must call it a day. You push yourself to the very edge of exhaustion and must now return to your campsite to get some rest. You continue your search tomorrow. However, the house might be a little bit different. So it kind of gives us a rundown of how we did. So west facing in. Day 2. As we can see, fucking everything's gone. So that's how the game kind of works. You just go through day by day, building up the mansion and trying to figure stuff out. It's just, there's a lot of shit to it. I really like it. Let me show you my own game where I'm at personally, so you can kind of get an idea of the other stuff that can happen here. Okay, so it's kind of nice because if you you fuck up with room placement on one day, you're not is this gonna try me to desktop? You're not doomed to live forever with the consequences of putting a room in a bad spot. Okay, good. Alright, so I'll show you, I'm on day 13. Oh, day 14 now. So yeah, first things. I have 70 steps now. Pretty sweet. Well, found something to let me do that. Won't say what it is. For the sake of being a jerk or something, I don't know. So one thing I didn't realize I could do until I was like 4 hours into the game is that I can go outside. Pretty obvious in retrospect, but we can explore the grounds. You saw that I had a letter there on the table too. There's had a couple of coins because I solved a puzzle earlier, and they're like, "Oh, you did that puzzle for us. Good job. You can have a couple of coins every day to start off with," which is quite nice. Got the wishing well, which I'm not quite sure what this does. Let's make a wish and see. Nothing. Well, Not nothing. It does something, but I don't know what yet. Just take a quick look around here. Yeah, it takes steps when you're outside. It just doesn't go as quickly as it would if you were going through rooms, but it still does use your steps. So, this is blocked off. Don't know what that is. Kind of see what is this down here. No clue. Got these flames that I have to figure out. Like, what do these do when I light them up? I figured out how to light 2 of them so far. Not sure what it does. Got a bird bath. Hey birds, what's up? Got this dark storage, like freight storage area, kinda. Don't know what to do here. What's this? Who knows? Not me. I don't fucking know. Got a gate that's closed off here. There's probably, I think if I figure out something with the east side of the mansion, I'll be able to open this gate up. But I haven't really done that yet, obviously. There's my campsite that I go to when I finish up for the day. The campsite. Due to the rules set forth in your great uncle's will, you're not allowed to stay in the estate overnight. Luckily, however, your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate a very respectable off-site sleeping quarters. So, that's that. Not a whole lot over this way. Look at the apple orchard. Letter, or logbook rather, from the gardener. I'm not going to read all this because it's long, but it talks about stuff like apparently the ground, like the soil quality matters for the layout of the mansion. For some reason, don't really know why yet. So, one of the saints, just yeah. So it's like mysteries upon mysteries. Sundial. So this is what I used to turn on one of those flames down by the lower part of the grounds. So yeah, that's pretty much all that is over this way. There's the store. Don't know what that. Can't get that open yet. And the other side, I actually have made some progress on. So nothing really down there. Don't need to worry about that. But here we have the outside room, which is a kind of a bonus room. So we can draft one of these 3 special rooms here. There's the shelter, which prevents me from but it prevents me from getting the negative effect of the red rooms. So like if I had picked this and then I drafted the chapel, it would not take a coin away from me when I went through it anymore. Root cellar, rooms in your house will be more likely to contain dig spots today, so if I had a shovel, that would be useful. And then the tool shed, get 2 special items. That's pretty good. So do that. Sledgehammer, which allows me to shatter padlocks on locked trunks. And then, let's see, what's the other thing? Obvious lockpick kit will occasionally be able to unlock some normal doors. I have not actually seen this yet, so that's cool. On account of it being 10 coins in the commissary, I'm just like, fuck that, man. Alright. So let's go east this way this time. Okay. So billiard room, we've seen that. Closet, we've seen that. The coat check is a good room, but I don't want to pick it just yet because it's a dead end. Or do I? Man, I can get the coin purse if I pick that now. Yeah, it's worth the risk. Because getting the coin purse this early on. So like the coat check, what you can do is if you draft this room, you can give away one of your items for the day that you're in, and then you can pick it back up on a future day. So, oops. The previous day I'd checked my coin purse, so now I have that. Right off the gate, right out of the gate, so that's pretty nice. Let's go here. Oh, God, okay. Got to do the chapel. I mean, I don't have to, but I need to be able to get further east, so it's the best call to make, I think. No, they're not. Can't go that way. Let's go with the den. Get ourselves a gem, and be able to fill in this spot here. Use that utility closet. That is nice. So, did pick this earlier on the previous day, when I was playing earlier, but it is a real important room to pick because it lets you, for one thing, turn off the keycard system, which is nice. Don't know. No idea what that is. Okay, but those light up. Lets you turn the power on in some of these rooms. I guess the gymnasium is a red room that sucks, so maybe I'll turn the power off there. Dark room, we want to have power turned on there so we can see the room when we go in, so it doesn't go dark immediately. Yeah. I think. And this says cabinet, I think, but I don't know. Maybe. Oh, you know, there's a broken lever that I can find sometimes. Maybe that is what's supposed to go there. Interesting. Okay. To keep that in mind. Conference room. No, it's not. It's also banana. So, yeah. Billiard room. Parlor. Let's do the parlor. There are 4 boxes in this room. That's a lie. There's only 1 box in the room. That's also a lie. So this box is telling the truth. The gems are in the true box. There's got to be 1 true box. These 2 are lying, so this has got to be the box the gems are in, right? Yes. That's pretty good for that spot. So let's pick that. Aha. Oh look, nothing. So still too difficult. Fine, fair enough. Okay, so I can really only exit north and west, so I can't get these open. I guess if I found a key, I can get the south exit to the room open. Okay. Alright, so we're just going north apparently for now. Spare room, billiard room. Let's pick this because I've not seen the office yet. Well, I mean, I've seen the British office, which is superior to the American one, really, except for, you know, Ricky Gervais being a fucking dickhead transphobe. Welcome to the Mount Holly home office. Spread Golden Estate? Yeah, please. Oskin facilitated modest distribution of coins withdrawn from the Staff Incentives Program. These coins are spread, distributed in a number of rooms currently active, throughout the estate. Network. Not sure what the password is currently, so I can't really do that. Payroll. After running this process, checks will be placed in each staff member's room. This includes each servant's quarter and maid's chamber currently on the estate. We don't have either of those yet, so we don't want to do that. Alright. Now, because I had the conference room, that kind of hoovers up all of the things that are spread out. So let's... Yeah, sure. Holy shit, that is a lot of money. Damn. That is awesome. I'm fucking rich. That's rich. I have money now. Oh, I haven't noticed that there's this note. Oh, god damn it. Is it just... Okay, maybe it's just that one notepad that's got writing on it. Reminder, after meeting adjourns, take all conference notes and place them in the office safe. Huh. Okay, so that wasn't the right safe. Like, that's not for the safe in the boudoir, then. Let's go back to the office here. Where is the safe? What's this? Aha. Pretty clever. Alright. 0, 8, 3. Yeah, of course. God damn it. Alright. I had to try. Had to try. What is upgrade disk? You found a floor plan upgrade disk. Insert it onto one of the estate terminals. Permanently upgrade. What the fuck is that? Okay. Bridget, please check if any books matching these titles are available for purchase in Reddington. Flight of the Queen, March of the Count. What is... Fall of the Lord, Passing of the Barons, Herrings of the Major. Had a little trouble reading the Baron's writing, so I'm not sure if the last title is intended to be hearings or herrings. but knowing Herbert, I suspect either would be suitable. Okay, so, okay, let's... Antechamber lever and the greenhouse is broken again. I don't think there's enough time to put another work order before Simon arrives, so just make sure the west and east levers are operational. Okay. So that's, if I find the broken lever again, that's what I need it for. It's for the greenhouse. I should take a screenshot of that. Moment. So yeah, I just started doing these screenshots to keep track of stuff like this today, and I already have, this is like my 30-second screenshot that I've taken so far, so. I've heard some of the people on like Triple Click, which is like pretty much the only gaming podcast that I listen to these days. One of the dudes was saying that he has like 300 screenshots in his folder like this. I'm like, holy shit, dude. That's a lot. Okay. Alright. Alright, back at it. Okay, so let's see this upgrade thing. Oops. Do I... Yeah, okay. Just kidding. Insert disk. Here we go. Hallway. Okay, so it doesn't... Okay. Hallway data has been found on this upgrade disk. You'll now have the chance to permanently enhance this room to one of 3 different upgraded floor plans. Oh, damn. Okay. Get a key, can make sure that there's a trunk in there, or I can add an extra hallway to the draft pool. Hmm. Let's do the trunk. These locked trunks usually have good items in them, so it's actually got a hallway in place. Let's go see if that's effective immediately. Not yet. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, since we already came back this way, let's just go ahead and kind of branch out a bit in the other direction. Okay, so we're gonna pick the dark room. Now, I think lights still go out, but if we go back to the breaker room, oops, that. Fucking tithing, God. I'm going bankrupt. Although I guess I am like 14, so that's so fucking weird to think about. Like, hey, kid, figure out this crazy mansion. Okay, so if we turn the dark room on, go back. I feel like 14-year-olds shouldn't have to pay tithes. How about that? Lights are on. Alright. Notes. HS has requested yet another print of her ladyship, I assume for one of her rooms in the West Wing, as well as an enlarged print of the enclosed photograph. He said the last development was too dark, so keep an eye on that. Some pictures here. So this is where the handicap. God, my brain is leaking out of my ears. This is where the magnifying glass would come in handy, because I could probably be able to see what's on this note that he's holding if I had it. Alright. So, now that the room is lit up, the photos over here. Okay. Since we were able to turn the lights back on in here, I can now actually see what I'm doing when I draft a room, which is nice. Let's do the nook. Probably should have saved the drawing room for later on in the mansion. You have a better chance of getting hosed by the floor plan options, but oh well. Alright, so I'm gonna go with the garage because I've already got the breaker room installed. Plus it gives us 3 keys, which is very nice. Christoph, this is the 3rd time this month you and the car have been gone. Your services are required. Don't care how long you've been driving for his lordship, your absences must be accounted for. Miss Babbage. So because I turned the power on to the room earlier, I can actually just open up the garage door. And it doesn't really do a whole lot, it just leads back to the west side of the grounds. But that's how I got the west side of the grounds opened up in the first place, was by getting the garage opened. Okay, so it's not, it's a dead end, but there's also an item that you can find called the car keys, and I'm pretty curious as to what happens if you find those when you have the door open, so I'm hoping that I can come across that in this during this day. That's my thought process in choosing to put it there. Can't do security. Just do the billiard room. Okay, this is what I don't fucking get. 4. And then, like, is it square root? No. Yeah. Not sure what that is. Oops. I have, like, brute forced that before, but I could not really figure out what getting the right answer meant, like how it factored in to it being correct, so I'm just gonna skip over this for now. Passageways not accessible. Bedroom. God. Oh shit! I'm only down to 13 steps. Oh god. Okay, let's go with bedroom. Oh shit. Okay. It's like there's got to be something going on with this room, but not sure. Okay. Well. So we've got 10 steps left. I should go back to the code check for sure and drop something off there, but do I? Well, let's just do that first. Let's see what else we have time for. Definitely gonna want to have that later. Yeah, we're done so. Man. Here we go. Day's over. So I think I'm gonna call it there. But yeah, man, this game is fucking awesome. I am really looking forward to getting deeper into this and figuring more of this shit out. Just like figuring out that whole Rebus thing, just then, like that was in the commissary. Just like realizing that, pretty cool. Getting that upgrade disc just now feels like, progress. There's constant progress being made, either if it's just like inside my own head or in the actual game itself, which is just really, I don't know, it feels special, for lack of a better way to put it. Yeah, so that's Blueprints. Hope this was not I hope it didn't do too much talking. But yeah, that's it. I will probably be streaming on Sunday with more 10 Dead Doves, and I will check you then. I gotta go, because I have gotta go to the bathroom.